that he was indeed at Valeria at the relevant time, as the court pleases.
I listened to the evidence. Are you shocked? That's why I was telling Mr. Ngumezu, let it deal with that aspect. I even know the name of the girlfriend of Mr. Ntan, Ulebokham. Mr. Shalama says he's got a question to ask. You'll come after that.
Okay. Yeah, the same point as Mr.
Oh, you're at the same point now?
Yes.
Which one?
That's Mr. Ramusepi.
Okay, fine, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to raise it in any case.
Okay, raise it.
According to the report, on the 27th of November 2020, on pages 10 up to 11, the state addressed the court and indicated that, and I'm reading from line 8, accused 2 is at Vilera Police Station. The state will request that he be again postponed to the Vilera Police Station police cells. We have a letter from the station commander of Vilera Police Station confirmed that the accused can be postponed to Vilera Police Station.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes, Ms. Shona.
Thank you, my Lord, for the indulgence. My Lord, I have one question from the questions by court. My Lord, just one question.
I asked one question, not questions. I asked one question about the identification, which is unique, which describes the uniqueness of a cell phone, the EMI number, like Mr. Ramusipidi says, is the fingerprint of the cell phone. You're right, sir. It's like there are no 2 cell phones in the whole world, they say, the experts, which are similar in number. In the whole world, even in China, you've got about 7 billion people. Okay, you've heard me. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, my Lord, it's a question arising from question put by court.
Okay.
Thank you, my Lord. Sir, did you write the IME number of the cell phone referred to in Exhibit CC?
Lilela engwala nomorela ya IME ya botlhatse ba CC. No, I did not write it.
In number then I gave you some of IMEI. Yeah, the ucingo lokukhulunywa ngalo kwizibi to CC angibhalanga phansi.
Why not?
Gobaneng?
Aka gopola gore nka engwala ka re ke ke kreile la thekeng aka gopola go engwala.
I did not think of writing it as I had already received the cell phone.
Angizange ngicabange ukuthi angibhale ngoba umakhala ekhuphini ngangisengitholile.
And also, is it your evidence that at the time when you handed the same cell phone to Colonel Stein, you did not also give him the IME number of the handset that you handed to him?
Ke botlhatse ba lena gape gore ge be le neela Colonel Stein mal sellathekeng se wega senke la monea IME number ya sona. That is correct.
Kuyiqinisa ukuthi naye uKolonel Stein sengidlulisela ucingo kena kanzange ngimnikeke leyo number leyo.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Bala.
Please, the witness can stand up.
Oh, excuse. Is it going to be called again?
We don't think so, man.
Oh, okay.
Barba leboga le feditše.
The state calls the next witness is Mr. Sibusiso Babsi Yaka. Does it look like his name is on the witness list?
Is he around?
Yes, he is here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, may you say the witness here?
Language. Okay, sicela igama nesibongo baba.
Sibusiso ya.
Uyimisela ukufunga baba kuzokhuluma iqiniso?
Yebo.
Ngabe yafunga ukuthi ufakazi ozobethula kule nkantolo kuzoba iqiniso lodwa iqiniso eliphelele. Uma ngabe kunjalo phakamise isandla sakho sokudla uthi inkosi ngisize ngikhuluma iqiniso.
Nkosi ngisize ngikhuluma iqiniso.
The witness is sworn in, my lord.
Yes.
Mr. Yaga, is it correct that you were a member of the Department of Correctional Services until your retirement on the 30th of September 2021?
Ngabe kuyiqiniso yini ukuthi wawuyilunga ke le Department of Correctional Service kwaze kwa isikhathi ke obeka ngaso phansi ngoSeptember ka2021?
Yebo njalo.
That is correct.
When did you join the Department of Correctional Services?
Waqala nini ukusebenza khona eDCRS?
1 July 1992.
On the 1st of July 1992.
Can you just briefly put your career history on record with the Department of Correctional Services?
Ngathi nje kafushane ke ubeke ke umlando wakho ke kanye ke nomnyango lona ke uDCRS.
Ngidlale join department in July, May 1st of July 1992 at Johannesburg.
I joined the department on the 1st of July 1992 in Johannesburg.
Ngaqeqeshwa eKroonstad College.
I was trained at the college in Kroonstad.
1992 until ngaqeda ngoDecember.
In 1992 until I completed my training in December.
Then ngabuyela eJohannesburg, station sam.
I then went back to my station in Johannesburg.
Then eJohannesburg yasengtransferela eKrugersdorp.
Then from Johannesburg I was transferred to Krugersdorp.
When? Which year?
Ngawuphi unyaka?
1993.
In 1993.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then I worked at Krugersdorp up until 2008.
I worked in Krugersdorp up until 2008.
Then I was transferred to Sonderwater.
Ngase ngidluliselwa ke eSonderwater bengathi yaphakamisa baba ne?
Okay.
Yes.
Yebo.
Then
And Sonderwater is where?
Ikuphi iSonderwater yona?
it's Cullinan.
It's in Cullinan.
Yes.
Yebo.
Then ngasebenza Sonderwater.
In what capacity were you attached to Sonderwater
Khona
prison?
eSonderwater manje kusebenza ukuyiphinda noma kusiphi isikhundla?
Ngangisebenza njenge-head security level yaka-lieutenant colonel.
Head security at the level of a lieutenant colonel.
Yes, until
Yebo.
when?
Kwaze kwanini?
Until 2014 I got promoted to and I went to Kalabusha as the head of prison.
Until 2014 I was then promoted as the head of the center in Kalagabusha prison.
Yes. From when until when were you attached to Kalagabusha prison?
Qale nini kwaze kwayofika nini eKalagabusha?
I went May 2014 until transfer eNcome.
Sorry. From the 1st of May 2014 until I was transferred to Ngome. Yebo.
eNcome that's where I ngathatha khona umhlalaphansi.
And then in Ngome, that is where I took my I went on retirement.
But you were head of Kalagabusha Correctional Center from 1 May 2014 until when?
Kuqale ngeyi-1 May 2014 uyi-head of the center eKalagabusha kwaze kwayofika nini?
Until June when I was transferred to eNcome.
June walowo nyaka lo 2014.
2021.
Okay, until June of 2021 when I was transferred to Ngome.
And what type of offenders does Kalagabusha facility house?
iKalagabusha ke ingaba igcina noma ithatha iziboshwa ezinjani?
eKalabusha ithatha iboshwa amatifo engama-category ahlukene ezigwetshiwe nezingagwetshiwe.
Kala kabusha houses inmates of different categories, the ones that are sentenced and the ones that are not yet sentenced.
And by virtue of you being the head of the correctional facility at Kalagabusha, do you have access to the records of the inmates there?
Nanje ngoba kwakuwena ke kwakuyihead ke khona eqala kabusha ingaba wawunama record yini ama inmates khona lapho noma iziboshwa?
Yebo kunjalo, njengomphathi kufuneka wazi ukuthi iziboshwa ezingaphakathi zonke zinawo ama-warranty and aqondile, akukho iphutha ese-warranty.
Yes, as the head of the center, you need to know records of the inmates that are kept there, whether they do have warrants, and is it warrants that are legit and that there's nothing wrong or faulty about them.
On the 19th of August 2020, were you on duty?
Ngay 19th zika August 2020 ngabe wasemsebenzini yini?
Yebo ngisemsebenzini.
Yes, I was.
Is it correct that it was at the facility that you were heading at Kalagabusha Correctional Center?
Kwakuseqala kabusha.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, that's correct.
Can you tell the court in your own words what transpired on the day?
Ungatshela ke inkantolo wena ke ngokwakho ukuthi kwenzekani ngalelo langa lelo?
Ngalelo langa ngaqala nje usuku kahle ngenza konke umsebenzi ofuna ngaze ngehead of prison.
On that day, I started the day well and I did all the duties that I was supposed to do as the head of the prison. Yebo.
Futhi ngangilindele abaphenya ababezofika bezobona omunye umbanjwa bezophenya ababehola ngaleso sikhathi kwakucolonel Gininda.
And I was also expecting or awaiting as investigators or an investigating team that were coming to investigate one of the inmates. At the time they were led at the time by Colonel Gininda.
And then bahamba usuku kwafika isikhathi sokuthi ijele livalwe.
The day then went on and then the time came or arrived when the prison had to be closed.
Kodwa abaphenyi labo bekhona bengaqedi.
But the investigators that were there were not yet done.
And then kuthe kusenjalo sengivalile ngase ngithola ucingo kwangena ucingo efonini yami.
Whilst at that, the prison being closed, I then received a call on my phone.
Kodwa inombolo ayingaveli.
But the number didn't appear.
So wangibuza ukuthi lokho ofuna wathi umphathi lo ngavuka ngathi.
Ophinde.
Lona wayefona wabuza wathi umphathi lo.
Okay.
Ngathi mina yebo.
The one that was calling asked, is that the head? I then said yes.
What time was it when you received your call?
Kwakungabani isikhathi uma uthola lelo cingo lolo?
Mangikhumbula kahle kwase ushayile 5.
If I remember well, it was already past 5.
Please don't disclose the contents of the discussion.
Sicela ungakusho ke lokho okwashiwo noma lokho nakhuluma ngako kulelo cingo lolo. Kwase kwenzekani ke emuva kwalokho?
After kuthola lokho ke ngase ngithi hayi ngoba sengithole lolu lwazi ngendlela ochaza ngakhona ngase ngidecide ukuthi hayi against operation ngoba wasuka mention.
Okay. After that, I had received that information. I then decided to embark on an operation.
So,
did this caller impart certain information to you?
Lo muntu owayekufonela kunolwazi oluthize awadlulisa kuwena.
Yebo wakhipha ulwazi olwangeza ukuthi ngiqonde.
You may not disclose the contents, please.
Yes.
Yebo.
Did he impart certain information to you? Is that correct?
Kunokuthiza wakutshela kona lo muntu owayekufonela.
Yebo.
Yes.
What did you do as a result of the information?
Ngenxa yaloko akutshela kona yini owayenza?
Ngasuka lapho ngasebenzisa lolwazi ayineze lona ngaya kule ndawo leyo lapha ayingitshela khona ukuthi lento akhuluma ngayikubani ngakhona.
Okay, after imparting that information, I then went to this particular place that this person told me about and said who the person was that was in possession of this item.
To which place did you go to?
Waya kuphi ke?
If ijele linama section
The prison has got sections, yeah,
nama wing
as well as wings.
section 15B
I went to section 15B.
Yes.
Yeah,
angena uma beke ungena okulandela umthetho umbosho nobosho ongena eqala kabosha lapha ufakwa kwi-register.
If now you follow, in other words, the law or the rules, in each and every inmate that gets housed or that comes to Kalakabusha, it gets entered into a register. Yebo.
Lapha ukuthi uzohlala kuyiphi indlu.
That then indicates where the person is going to be housed. Yebo.
So uma abufuna ulwazi unikeza ulwazi mina njengomphathi ngiyazi ukuthi makusho ukuthi ubani mention ukuthi ubani endathile ngiyazi ufuna ngikuphi ngoba ngizovula i-register ngiye lapho engifuna yakho.
But when I'm given information and the person is being mentioned, I know where to go because I'm going to open the register. Yebo.
And then bese ngivula lapho engavula khona ngathola okungakutholayo.
I then opened, and where I opened, I then got that which I then received that which I found there.
Mr. Yaka, you went to section 15B. Just tell us step by step what happened when you got there.
Uhambile ke waya khona section 15B. Awusitsheleke ngokulandelelana ukuthi kwenzekani uma usufika khona lapho ngokulandelana.
Ngoba nganginegama engangilazi.
Because I had a name which I knew,
Ngavula register.
I opened the register.
Ngathola i-cell number ukuthi number bani umuntu engimfunayo.
I then found a cell number, that is now the particular person that I'm looking for. Which cell is that person in?
Ngase ngiyakhona.
I then went there.
Yes. Is this now 15B?
Yes.
Yebo.
Yes. What happened when you got there?
And then ngavula
I opened.
abafana babo 3 not angisho ngabafana bangibedelela kodwa sibabiza ukuthi abafana all ama-male.
Okay. The boys were there. I'm not mentioning the word boys because I'm disrespecting them, but because they are mates. There were 3 of them. Yebo.
Ngase ngithi ke lona engangiphethe camera ngase ngithi letha i-cell phone.
And then now the particular one whose name I had with me, I then said to him, give the cell phone or bring the cell phone.
And who's this person that you were talking to?
Ubani lo owakhuluma naye?
Ulwazi angiphethe igama likaFiso kuhle Ntuli.
The information that I had the name of Fisokuhle Ntuli.
This person that you were talking to, who is he?
Lo muntu owakhuluma naye ubani?
Igama lakhe
Yes.
It's his name.
uFiso kuhle Ntuli.
It's Fisokuhle Ntuli.
Is he in court?
Ukhona enkantolo?
Yeah, ukhona.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Ungamkhoma?
La ngilapha egcineni.
Right there at the end.
He's accused 1 up to 5.
Umobala ke qala ku1 kuyogcina ke ku5.
Oh, number 5.
Number 5.
Yes. You may proceed.
Ungaqhubeka.
Ngase ngithi akanginikeze i-cell phone.
I asked him to hand over the cell phone.
Akazange ngihluphe wanginikeza i-cell phone. Ngase ngimtshela ukuthi i-phone ngiyayithatha.
He did not give me any troubles or problems. He gave me the phone. I then informed him that I'm taking the phone
Ngoba avumelekile ukuyiphatha.
because you are not allowed to have it. Yeah.
Just a minute. Where was this phone?
Yayikuphi nendawo le phone le?
Yayi lapha angithiwa basebelele esembhedeni
They were laying on their beds.
wayikhipha lapha embhedeni lapha ayile khona nginikezana.
He removed it from the bed where he was laying and gave it to me.
Where exactly?
Kuphi nendawo?
Mamtelela mayikhipha ngapha esayidini nginikezza ngapha eceleni kwakhe.
Okay, as the person was lying, it was now on the side of him as he was lying on the bed.
Yes.
Ngase ngivala iseli ngabuyela ngenyuka ngaye office.
I then closed the cell and went back to the office.
Yes.
Ngase ngiba nengxoxo ke nomphathi ukuthi le ndaba yale cellphone ayingihlali kahle ngoba angazi ukuthi bekukhulunywani.
All right. I then had a discussion with my superior that this issue of the cell phone didn't sit well with me because I don't know what it is that was being discussed.
Ngoba kwakhona abantu ababezophenya lapha ngase ngithi mhlambe ukuze kufuna ngathi kufuna nginikeza bona ukuze mhlambe mabe kukhona abakutholayo ongaba mhlambe kusifake mhlambe ukuthi mhlambe iziboshwa zibaleke mabe kuthola basinikeze ukuze ngami ngiqinisa kakhulu ezokuphepha ngaphakathi.
Because there was a team that was investigating, I then said or decided that because I didn't know what it is that was being discussed, to hand this phone over to them, that if there is something that they find that was being discussed that had something to do with the prisoners escaping, then they should let us know so that on my side I can also tighten security.
Yes.
Yebo.
Ngase nginikeza ke abaphenyi bayifake eplastikini.
I then handed it over to the investigators. They placed it in a plastic bag,
Basike elivalekayo bayisila.
a plastic that one is able to close, and they sealed it.
Sike basebethi bazohamba nayo ke.
They then said that they were going to take it with them.
Kwakuzi 19 zakalokho zakaso August ngalolo suku lo 2020.
On that day, it was on the 19th of August 2020.
Now, if you say you gave it to the investigators, who are you referring to?
Uma uthi ke abaphenyi ukhuluma ngobani?
Ngikhuluma Colonel Gininda
Colonel Geninda,
nabanye kayihamba nabo.
as well as others in whose company he was in.
Do you remember with whom he was?
Usakhumbula ukuthi wayehamba nobani?
Mangikhumbula ngahle kwakhona omunye kuthiwa Mohane.
If I remember well, there was another one referred to as Muhane.
And what type of phone was this?
Kwakuwuhlobo luphi lwefoni?
Imnyama ibhalwe ukuthi stylo.
It was black, and on it was written stylo.
Now, did you personally know case number 5 before this incident,
Ngaphambi kwalelo langa
the
leli
19th of August 2020?
lalesehlakalo lesi langa 19 zika August 2020, ingabe wawumazi yini umangalelo wesihlanu?
Ngiyamazi.
I know him.
Have you had any interactions with him there at prison?
Khona ejele lapho kukhona okwake kwanihlanganisa.
No, not ukuthi ukuhlanganisa ngokomsebenzi wami. Umboshwa mayifika ejele.
Yes.
Kufuneka mina njengomphathi ngimemukele.
According to now my duties as the head of the prison, when an inmate comes into the prison, I need to welcome that inmate.
Ngimchazele ukuthi la kusetshenzwa kanjani usuku lokuvakasha kulunini.
You should tell that person how things are done here. When is it a day for the visit?
Isikhalo kusetshenziswa kanjani mawufuna ukubona umphathi.
And when you want to see maybe a complaint or when you want to see the head, how do you go about? Yebo.
Then bese ke ngiba addressa bese kuthi ke engifuna ukumbona ngesizathu sami njengomphathi engifuna ukumbona one on one ngimbize ngihlala naye phansi ngimbuze ufuna ukumbuza khona. Yes.
I would then address them, but if there is an inmate that I as the head would like to see one on one, I would then call that person, sit down with that person.
Okunomboso ufuna ukungibona yena in person naye ngimnikeza ithuba ukuthi sihlale naye phansi.
Or if an inmate wants to see me in person, I would then give that inmate a chance. We sit down.
Lokho ngenza ukuthi ababoshwa abaningi thola ukuthi ngazi amagama abo naye ukuthi makukhuluma ngobani ngisuke ngazi ukuthi ubani ukuphi.
That then makes it now for me or makes it for me to know their names. So when a name is mentioned, I know who they are talking about and where that person is housed.
And what was now the position regarding case number 5 on the day?
Manje ke ngalelo langa lelo ke isimo sasithini ke mayelana naye ke ummangalelwa wesihlanu ngalelo langa lelo.
No, akukho kwakukhona ngalolu suku ongabe mhlambe baleke kodwa nje wayikhona njengomuntu oboshwe ngaphakathi ekhona njengezinye iboshwe.
There was nothing particular on that day, but he was there, someone who was housed there, just like the other prisoners.
Yes, but you mentioned that it makes you to know their names and where they are housed. Yes, given the fact that you interact with them, but have you interacted with accused number 5 before?
Ushilo ke wathi ke kwenza ukuthi uma ngabe kubizwe igama wazi ukuthi khulunywa ngobani nokuthi leyo muntu loyo ukuyiphi indawo. Manje engifuna ukwazi ukuthi ngaphambi kwalelo langa nge-19 ka-August 2020 usuke yini wahlangana naye noma kwakhona ukuhlanganisa naye ngaphambi kwe-19.
Kukhona ngithi uma ngabe ecela ukungibona wanganomneza ithuba zongibona uma ngabe ngivisit unit yakhe maye efuna ukungibona ngimbona ukuze mabe ekhipha isikhalo mhlawumbe maye efuna ukuthi mhlawumbe ufuna ukuthi kunento engamphatha kahle ecela ukungibona ngihlale naye phansi ngimtshela ukuthi hayi kusetshenzwa kanje.
Yes, when he would request to see me, I would sit down with him. When I would visit his unit and he would then have a complaint, I would then sit down with him and tell him that this is how, there is something that he's not happy about. I would then sit down with him and tell him this is how things are done.
You say the cell phone was placed inside a plastic bag and sealed. Did you see if there were any identification marks on the bag?
Ushilo ukuthi kule plastic yafakwa kuyona ke ifone lena ke yasilwa ke ngaba kukhona ke owawubona ngako noma oku-identify noma ukuchaza le plastic lena or ama-marks owawabona kule plastic.
Yeah, kwakhona inumber but inje but ngene khona ukuyikhumbula exactly ngekhanda kodwa there was a number that was olokhuzana le.
There was a number on it. It's a long number. I won't be able to remember it just on the top of my head.
Did you make a statement regarding this incident?
Kune statement owasenza yini mayelana nalo daba lolu?
Yeah, it's khona, yes.
Yes, there is.
And was the statement reduced to writing?
Sabhalwa phansi.
Yebo.
Yes.
And did you read the statement after it was reduced to writing?
Emuva kokuthi sesibhaliwe ke ingaba wasifunda yini?
Yes, ngasifunda
Yes.
ngasayina.
Yes, I read it and I signed it.
Did you mention the identification mark of the plastic bag in your statement?
Kusona istatement lesi nanjengoba uqeda ukushoka ukuthi kwakune number eyayikhona ke lapho wayichaza yini ku statement sakho leyo number leyo?
Yeah, uma ngikhumbula kahle ngayibhala statement sami le number le. Cabanga ukuthi statement sami ikhona ibhaliwe igcwele kanjani.
If I remember well, I think that number in its fullness, I wrote it down in my statement.
You want to refresh your memory from the statement?
Ungathanda ukuyikhumbuza ngaso istatement sakho?
Ukubona le number. Yeah.
To see the number, yes.
Is this your statement?
Isona lesi.
Yebo is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, what, can you place the identification mark on?
Ungayisho-ke, ungayixhasa?
Number if ungayifunda ithi P2
It's P2B.
B 000 258 286.
Iyona-ke number leyo, it's P2B 000 258 286.
Now, when an inmate is found in possession of an item such as a cell phone, what is the procedure that is being followed?
Uma-ke isiboshwa sitholakale nokuthileka masithi mhlawumbe lana-ke i-cellphone yiphi-ke indlela-ke elandelwayo noma yini eyenziwayo?
Abona ukudila ngomuntu ongakagwetshwa kakhulu kunenkinga nyana.
To deal with someone who's not sentenced has got its problems, sorry.
I-procedure esiyesenzele ukuthi sisithathe ama-privilege, angazi i-privilege ngesizulu ukuthi yini.
But what we do, we would then take privileges. I don't know how to say privileges in isiZulu.
Ukuthi mhlambe sithi hayi awuzukuyithola i-visit for a certain time.
We would then say, for a certain time, you won't have visits. Yebo.
Kodwa ke njengoba abantu bengakagwetshwa thothi abaphuma bayangena kweza ukuthi angasingakhona ukuthi simcontene kahle ahlala tu.
Because they go in, they come out, they go in and they come out. Now we are unable to control to contain this person.
If you say which category are you referring to if you say they go in and out?
Uma uthi ke bayaphuma bayangena ukhuluma ngayiphi category?
Abangagwetshwa baya enkantolo babuye benza lonke into. Nanokuthi ke ngeke kube ukuthi umuntu ongakagwetshwa mangabe evakashela illegal visit ukuthi uzomalela ukuthi angabe legal visit because unecala ngoba kufanele ukuthi athole legal visit yakhe.
Those that are still the one that are still not sentenced because they would attend court, they would come back. And you cannot just keep on saying to someone who is not yet sentenced that deprive that person of visitation rights simply because that person has committed an offense.
But we are reprimand.
But we do reprimand the person.
Were there any steps taken against accused number 5?
Zikhona inyathelo ezathathwa ngakuyena umsolo wesihlanu.
I'm reprimand.
I reprimanded him.
Thank you, my lord. That is all.
Yes, no questions. Yes, Mr. Court, this is no questions for the witness. I haven't called you the witness, Mr. Speaker. Okay, Mr. Ngumalo?
I have no questions, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Ngumalo?
I do have, however, my document with one word with my client request.
Yes, no problem. Conduct your jail.
The court is not just for 5 days.